As we get older, we become more aware of our own mortality. And I started to think about how that might influence our own behaviors about generosity. When we acknowledge and really think about the shortness of life, the fact that we won't be here forever, it essentially kind of creates a press on our values. So whatever is valuable to us becomes even more valuable when we think about the fact that one day we won't have it. And to examine whether having increased awareness of our mortality and the fact that life one day ends, what we decided to do was to recruit adults of all ages, 18 to our oldest, who is 81, to look at how individuals of different ages, whether they were reminded of mortality or not, how did that affect their charitable donations? So what we did is we randomly assigned all of the participants who came into our study to one of two conditions. In what we call our mortality condition, the participants were asked to write about some of the thoughts and feelings they had when they thought about death. What are some of the things that come to mind? Now, in order to compare and make sure that our results are pertaining to reminders of mortality, we also have what we call a control condition. And in this condition, we have them write in response to very similar questions, but without the component of mortality. So we use control condition questions about going to the dentist. What are some of the thoughts and feelings that you have when you go to the dentist and experience dental pain? It's aversive, but it's not related to mortality. So we had these individuals come into the lab, so this was an in-person study, and they were all handed $15 in cash at the beginning after having signed an informed consent form. And they would answer the majority of the questions on the computer in a room by themselves. They were allowed to write as little or as much as they wanted. Both groups completed identical materials. The only differences were in the words related to death or the dentist. At the end, they were given the charitable materials. We decided to choose charities that focused on giving food to those in need. And they were given envelopes where they could place as much or as little money as they wanted. After the participant would leave, we would go in, grab the envelopes, and count the amount of money that was donated to each charity as our dependent variable. How can we help people behave in ways that are more consistent with their values? Because that is, in many types of research, that is the key to psychological well-being, is living a life that's consistent with your values. And if you value charitable giving, then it's also important behavior to carry out.